Hello everybody, Retro Beard here again. How are you doing on this fantastic Friday afternoon, or whatever time it is where you're at right now? I first want to start this video by apologising for yesterday's sound issues. By the time, well, to be honest, I don't normally check my videos before I load them because I got to the point when my setup was so refined and I just do things in one take. Obviously it's not exactly complicated, is it? I just upload it and it's good to go. But for some reason my microphone was quiet, and so quiet it didn't detect my voice properly. What I'm guessing happened was the night before I was helping a friend set up his Xbox remotely online, and we used Facebook Messenger with a video call, and I'm wondering if because it used my mic, if it altered the master volume settings, you know, when it did that for the first time. So that's the only thing I can think technically. I did a few tests now and and that's what it seemed to be, so I'm hoping it's resolved. I'm hoping now I'm not too quiet, not too loud where the voice quality is bad, but if it is a bit too loud, forgive me and I'll turn it down, and hopefully by next time, which would be Sunday, because Saturdays I do retro ramblings with my camera, hoping it'll be alright. So bear with me, I am very sorry, but I'm sure even the very best YouTubers have technical problems, let alone a humble YouTuber like myself. I just want to say, if you do like my content, I ask you to please like, subscribe, click the notification bell, leave me a comment, share my video, because I really want to build this channel up and be able to do more. And right now I'm at my absolute constraints of time because I do work full-time, sadly enough, which, well, I say sadly enough, it's good to have a job, isn't it, to pay your bills, but you know what I mean. I have all kinds of amazing ideas for funny videos and awesome videos, but I just don't have the time. I'd like to do sketches, I'd like to dress up and go places and do things and do documentary videos like I did at the start, but you know, and anybody who enjoyed those might say, well, why aren't you doing them now? Well, the truth is it takes me a week to do one, and I'd never build this channel up. I do love, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do love these playthroughs, and I will always do them, and you know, but you know, I'd like to shake up things and stir up the mix a bit. But right now I don't have the time, so I've got to build my channel up with this formula of playthroughs and retro ramblings on a Saturday until hopefully my fortunes change one day. Not that I'm complaining. With that said, I thought I'd have another quick go on this because even though I got plenty of good gameplay on this yesterday, nobody really got to hear what I had to say about it, so I'm gonna, for once I can repeat myself harmlessly because nobody knows what the heck I was saying yesterday. So hopefully, in theory, if this is recording my audio correctly, my words will come through. So basically, this game, or at least the original Jetpac, was a game on my very first PC, which for those of you in the outside of Europe, I suppose, we never had the video game crash in the 80s that everybody talks about on YouTube. That was a unique, isolated event to the United States of America. I don't know if it happened to Canada as well. I don't know how entwined Canada's fates are with the United States, but over here in Europe, specifically the United Kingdom, in my case England, we never had a video game crash. In the 80s we had a highly prosperous microcomputer revolution, which is essentially the granddad to the home PC you get these days. You know, the Windows or the Mac. It's a we had many rival companies producing their own PC hardware. They were, by today's standards, very primitive, 8-bit machines usually, although 16-bit started coming out. Power-wise for games, they were somewhere between a halfway house towards what the NES was doing, up to slightly surpassing the NES. Most of the games were loaded from cassettes. I don't know, I think because a lot of my audience are a similar age to me, most of you obviously had handled cassettes and had your music on them and things, but any of you who weren't gamers or who were a little bit too young, essentially, you know, you put your cassette in and your game would load, and because much like a CD or a DVD or a Blu-ray, a cassette can hold data. and it would load it. The games were what they lacked in graphics and sound. They had gameplay innovation because they were pushing Stone Age hardware to achieve, you know, amazing things. And one of my earlier games was a game called Jetpac. The particular home computer that we had, the microcomputer we had, was called the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. You may have heard of that. And regardless of where you are in the world, it is called the ZX Spectrum. It's not the ZX Spectrum, because it was a British computer that I believe models got to parts of Europe and even in a very limited fashion to the USA, but its home was the UK. And yeah. A few American YouTubers have called it ZX, which they need slapping for, really. Not literally. I don't actually mean they need slapping. I just mean it's, you know, figuratively, jokingly, you know. But most credible American YouTubers do call it the ZX, and whenever they say ZX, I kind of sigh in relief. I know that sounds pathetic or petty, but we grew up with this stuff. Like you guys, you know, anybody, wherever you live, you grew up with a certain brand or name for stuff. When other countries give it an incorrect name, it does twinge on you. I understand that. Like Contra, the Contra games in America. In Europe, they're called Pro Protector. Well, they you know, now they're back to being called Contra, but in the times when they came out, that I can understand if an American or Canadian gamer was like, what? It's Contra, what are you doing? I can understand it completely. So I'm not a hypocrite. So it does suck when names get changed, and yeah, I know this is different because it's merely a pronunciation of a letter, but it's not about the arguing over how to say the alphabet correctly. It's the name. It's the beloved name. Be like, you know. So yeah, I'm not going to go too much into that because I don't, you know. But anyway, the ZX Spectrum, this game Jetpac, it came out in 1983, and it was amazing for the time. That if you watched yesterday's video, you've seen what the game looks like and how it plays like. And, you know, yeah, it looks like, graphically, it looks like a very, very, very poor NES game. Whereas this was actually quite a nice looking Spectrum game. But let's get it into context. We had two routes with our games back then, with cassettes. We had buying the game, which was usually between 99p, which is our version of cents to you know, overseas people. So obviously, even in the 80s, that weren't a lot. That was pocket money games. You know, right up to about $9.99 for a big box game, or our equivalent of a big box game, which wasn't a fortune. But then, because it was cassette, those of us who were naughty had two cassette recorders with a data cable, and we could pirate a game. There was no copyright protection of any real kind or effectiveness, so the game then cost you the price of a blank cassette. Whereas NES games, which came out after this, of course, I don't know how much they were in America, but I'm guessing, what, $30, $40? Up to $45 maybe? So when you think of it like that, yeah, it was a good... Whereas America had the Ataris and all that, and then it all went to pot, and then they had the NES that came in and saved the gaming in America, or monopolised it more like, in my opinion, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not a fan of Nintendo's practices. I've had many hours of joy on Nintendo games, but I think sometimes they're a wee bit disconnected from the people, and the only thing that saves them is how beloved their franchises are and how beloved their games are. And I think it's a shame that they can get away with so much because of that. Whereas Microsoft with the Xbox haven't got that belovedness, and they're so consumer friendly. It's a shame that we couldn't have Nintendo's quality of product on Microsoft's consumer friendliness. Then you'd have the ultimate gaming platform, whereas perhaps Sony and PlayStation are about in the middle. Anyway, I'm going to load this game up. I can jabber some more, but it'd be nice to have a little bit of gameplay at least, wouldn't it? Don't apologise for that. Not going to be a massive video today anyway, because I've not got a lot of time. After all, I've been messing about getting my sound corrected, you see, that's why I say I haven't got much time. I've been spending ages and... Let's do the original. if you didn't pick up on it or you've not seen yesterday's video, essentially you're a rocket man with laser guns, and you pick up the components of the rocket ship and avoid the aliens. Damn done. The pack, the rocket pack, has momentum. Why it's so difficult to avoid things, because you're constantly on the back foot, so to speak. Oh, see, I thought I'd have missed that. Sorry about this. I'm not. The amount the rocket ship's built, I've got to collect the fuel. Oh, you see that? The controls are ever so finicky. Old games were like this. Okay. I don't do very well, it's fine. It's always good. I've got no way of dodging that. These games are so hard. See that? It's the wrong level. You can't actually shoot it. It's so cruel. And then you go up and that and bounce it. I'd love to see somebody who's good at this game. I mean, it used to be me. See that? There's no way. I'd love to see somebody who can do it good. It's actually easier with a joystick, and then you load the fuel. Yeah, the collision detection is not the best, but that was the games that we had. Primitive, but when you didn't know any better, and entertainment was not as taken for granted as it is now. Oh, let's have a look. Drop it in. Oh, you see that? See how cruel it is? I'm going to try and get the ship blasted off before I call it a day, but no promises, because I'm... Oh, wow. This has got... I see that. I mean, that delay and the build. I mean, I know that's the skill in the game. There's no way I could have dodged that. And this is very colourful for a Spectrum game. I can't always judge it. Man. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be taking a spaceship off today. But at least I've got to say my piece and apologise, and because I'm not just banging out videos. I do try and have a quality. I mean, unfortunately, my quality at playing games is something I can't compensate for. No tweaking on. I'd love to remember that. Oh, it was much easier on a joystick, and I was much better. But it could just be rose-tinted spectacles, because I was like 5 playing this originally. Maybe I remember it because it's obviously a memorable childhood with the games we had. But and I do think I was better. I do. But who knows? And also, in addition, as a child, I perhaps had 1,000, goes on this. But I'd have made that if I hadn't done that rocket pack. Yeah, I got no hope of doing that. These games are merciless, aren't they? Yeah, this is one of my earliest gaming memories. Yeah, it's just fascinating. So, and the wonder why we've got... I wonder why people get PTSD. This is one of my earliest gaming memories. Flipping heck. Graphically, this is exactly how I remember the game looking. So... I can't complain there. About the silence. My brain is working. What's left of my brain anyway. Got some firepower. It's not easy to utilise, to wield it. Go. Thought I was doing well there. Get it in. Yes. Before the recording's over, I got to take you to space. That's the level completed. That's me achieving something in my life. Is that not a thing of beauty? My reward is landing on this new planet and getting more fuel against even more sadistic bad guys. Like how whiny my voice went then. I like to fire laser guns while I'm carrying fuel. I live dangerously. Come on. I don't always shoot laser guns with a flammable, but when I do, it's around fuel. Come on. Oh, you bugger. Excuse my French. Oh. Yeah, it's infuriating, but it's more of a reflection on me doing incompetent split-second decisions. Now, I'm going to leave it at that, but at least I did a level, and I've got a new high score. Whoop, whoop. So you have a fantastic weekend, and as I keep saying, if you enjoy my content, please like, subscribe, click the notification bell, leave a comment, share my content. I really appreciate all of the support and every view and every comment and like, and yeah, thank you. You have a fantastic weekend. I'll be back tomorrow with retro ramblings, and I'll see what craziness comes from that and what comes out of this mouth, because you never quite know why I don't go live. Although I don't, like I say, I don't really edit my videos. I still don't trust my mouth. It's amazing what comes out of this mouth each day. It blows my mind. Yeah, my dad used to always say that get my mouth and brain in gear or something like that. You know, but they're not in gear. They're doing their own separate thing. So, okay, you have a fantastic day. Take care, everybody. This is Retrobeard signing out. See you later. Bye.